give a round of applause. I'm going to tell you now, sit up straight and listen. This is Coach Rutschman. Thank you very much, Coach. Pleasure to be here, and like Coach Fennell said, I would like to ask you to sit up straight, pay attention. The things I'm going to talk to you about, I believe very strongly in. I believe that if you'll listen and apply them, it can have a huge impact on your life. When I was about your age, I had a person tell me this: there are three kinds of people in this world. Those that let things happen, make things happen, and say what happened. Which are you going to be? And I'd ask you people the same question. You know, are you going to make things happen? This is your life. This is your future. You cannot sit around and let things happen. You have to make them happen. This is your life. You're in charge. You've got to make good choices. Every action and every word, I believe, that you say will have a consequence. Think before you act. Think before you speak. I believe this: you people can accomplish absolutely anything that you want to accomplish in your lifetime if you do 5 things. They're so simple, it's scary. If you set goals, figure out a plan on how to reach your goal, ask yourself a question: do you believe in your plan? If you do, put it in action and don't deviate. I think you people can accomplish anything you want to accomplish if you can do those 5 things. Set goals, figure out a plan, ask yourself a question: do you believe in it? If you don't believe in it, then you've got to go back and redo your plan. But once you believe in it, put it in action and don't deviate. If you people don't achieve your goals, it's going to be in one of 2 areas. It's going to be in the planning area. You've done a poor job of planning, or you've had a good plan and you deviate from it. And I could give you all kinds of examples of those things. Think about this. Some studies show that 95% of CEOs, chief executive officers, people running companies, have participated in high school activities. 95%. That's one of the very few values of you people being involved in athletics. There's not one of you out here, up in this audience, that's not going to be in a leadership position in the future. You're all going to be leaders. One of your biggest jobs as being a leader is going to be to manage human behavior. Managing yourself and managing other people. Changing or adjusting attitudes, a work ethic, commitment to excellence, how to deal with adversity, those things. Managing human behavior, that's going to be one of your biggest jobs. My talk tonight is going to be basically about success, changing performance, and that's one of the reasons you're here at this camp, is you want to try to improve, you want to try to get better, you want to change your performance. There's 3 things that I want you to pay close attention to and see how they relate to one another. My belief is this: if you want to change performance, you must change an attitude. In order to change an attitude, you have to change thinking. In order to change thinking, you have to change what you allow to go into your head. Input. Input affects thinking. Thinking affects Attitude affects performance. To me, that's the way it happens. The mental part of success, to me, is more important than the physical part because it precedes everything physically. You have to accomplish something mentally before you'll ever accomplish anything physically. I believe you people have got hundreds of decisions to make on a daily basis. And my belief that the single most significant decision that you will make on a daily basis is your choice of attitude. That is the single most significant. It's going to have the hugest impact. Attitude, think about this. Your attitude affects how you look, how you feel, what you say, what you do. Your attitude basically triggers everything that you're going to do on a daily basis. Your attitude is more important than talent. It's more important than intelligence. Every year that I can think of that I coached, I had people with less talent outperform people with greater talent. Every year that I coached. That includes the 3 national championship football teams. On 2 of our national championship teams, we had an offensive guard that weighed 210 pounds. Played on a national championship team. It should not happen in college football. And yet, I don't believe that we would have ever won without that person. To me, they had that much of an impact. I want to ask you a question. Don't answer it, but I want you to think about it. What's your attitude about criticism? How do you like to be criticized? People finding fault with what you're doing. What's your attitude like? Think about this. If you're going to improve, you have to find something that you can improve on, something that you're doing right. Somebody has to point out something to you. They have to find fault with what you're doing. So my point is this: what's your attitude about criticism? You should want it. You should desire it. You should demand that people criticize you. Because that's the way you're going to get better. What's your attitude about criticism? I want to give you a couple of examples, to me, of attitude. Back in the mid-1980s, I had an NFL scout in my office, and we were talking about talent, but I asked him a question. How did you get involved in NFL scouting? He says, well, the way I did it was, he says, I was in coaching, and I just decided that I wanted to see if I could be an NFL scout. So I went to this one pro organization, and I said to them, I'd like to work for you for a year with no salary, free of charge. Spend 1 whole year working for you. He did it. They liked what he did, and he was in an NFL scout. So to me, there are too many people that we have in our country today that do not want to start at minimum wage. They want to start at a higher wage. They want to start at the top of the ladder rather than at the bottom of the ladder and work their way on up. It's all an attitude, isn't it?